Congressional Committee. I promise you, my friends, I commit to all Americans that we will have a party that you can be proud of.
All right, folks, welcome back to Philadelphia. It was an emotional moment on the floor yesterday when the mothers of the movement, that is the moms who have lost their kids to police violence, took to the stage to share their thoughts and reflections to this room. There were many people who were crying. Here's what those mothers had to say.
I watched as my daughter, Sandra Bland, was lowered into the ground in a coffin. She was my fourth of 5 daughters, and she was gone. No, not on administrative leave, but on permanent leave from this earth. Found hanging in a jail cell after an unlawful traffic stop and an unlawful arrest. 6 other women have died in custody that same month. Kendra Chapman, Alexis McGovern, Sarah Lee Circlebear, Raynette Turner, Ralkina Jones, and Joyce Cornell. So many of our children are gone, but they are not forgotten. I am here with Hillary Clinton tonight because she is a leader and a mother who will say our children's names.
I lived in fear that my son would die like this. I even warned him that because he was a young black man, he would meet people who didn't value him or his life. That is a conversation that no parent should ever have with their child. Hillary Clinton isn't afraid to say that Black lives matter. She isn't afraid to sit at a table with grieving mothers and bear the full force of our anguish. She doesn't build walls around her heart. Not only did she listen to our problems, she invited us to become a part of the solution. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep telling our children's stories, and we're urging you to say their names. We're going to keep building a future where police officers and communities of color work together in mutual respect to keep children like Jordan safe. The majority of police officers are good people doing a good job. And we're asking, and we're also going to keep using our voices and our votes to support leaders like Hillary Clinton, who will help us protect one another so that this club of heartbroken mothers stops growing.
I did not want this spotlight, but I will do everything I can to focus some of this light on the pain of a path out of the darkness. Hillary Clinton has the compassion and understanding to support grieving mothers. She has the courage to lead the fight for common sense gun legislation. This isn't about being politically correct. This is about saving our children. That's why we're here tonight with Hillary Clinton. And that's why, in memory of our children, we are imploring you, all of you, to vote this election day. is one mother who can ensure our movement will succeed. I want to thank you for standing with us and supporting us, and we'd like to leave with you what God has given us: strength, love, and peace. Thank you.
Welcome back to our panel, Daniela Gibbs-Leger, also Maritza Adonis, and Dr. Jason Johnson. It's interesting. So Ron Christie, Republican, Maritza, sends a tweet out yesterday saying that this was politics and how he was embarrassed by this. And I said, but did you criticize Benghazi mothers in Cleveland? I got no response. I don't have an issue with these mothers being invited to speak on this stage before these delegates. Thoughts?
Well, you know, it's not politics. I think it's something that's been concerning our communities for a very long time. Specifically, the Republican Policy Committee has been tasking working with law enforcement and helping policing communities in hopes that we're not reactive in the future, that we can have proactive steps to issues like this. So I think it's not politics. It's something that was absolutely necessary for the time being. It's something that the RPC has been working on for the past couple of years.
And look, Jason, I think it's powerful to have these voices speaking from the stage. And the Democrats also had law enforcement speakers last night as well.
Right. And trust me, Roland, I was cynical about this at the beginning. I've written about the fact that I thought this was a tragedy endorsement primary, that I thought it was sort of ghoulish the way that some of these women were being used. But the longer that I've seen them active on the campaign trail, it's very clear there's a policy element to this. It wasn't just Bernie and Hillary Clinton using Black death and tragedy in order to shortcut through empathy. This was a real demonstration. It's like, no, there's a policy connected to this. This is a crisis. This is a tragedy. And I was really moved. I was really moved by what they had to say, and I've been impressed with the role that they have played in this campaign as policy advocates, not just as martyrs for white voters.
And Daniela, we can go through a number of years where you've had mothers of fathers speaking out on issues, folks who have been raped, folks who have been abducted. So this is not like it's new. What's new is that you have Black women on the stage.
Exactly. There's nothing new about this. You always bring a personal story and connection to a convention. That's what both Republicans and Democrats do. Let me tell you, I was in the room last night, and you're right, they had the police captain from Pittsburgh, I believe, who spoke before they came out, and he was wonderful. And he talked about the need for policing reform, but he also talked about the fact that police officers are under stress and that, you know, they are being shot. And the video that they played before the Mothers of the Movement came out on stage, I mean, I'm tearing up just thinking about how powerful it was. And you're absolutely right. Like, it's not a gimmick. Like, this is real, and Hillary Clinton's commitment to them is real. And I think it was Lucy McBath who said she's not afraid to say Black Lives Matter. So while I get your point about what the RPC is doing, the Republicans are out there running around saying that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist movement. There is a lot of daylight between Republicans and Democrats on Black Lives Matter and police brutality, and I will not sit for like an equivalency drawn between them.
And I can't imagine Donald Trump having a conversation with those mothers.
No.
I can't.
He won't even talk to the NAACP. You know?
Right.
And here's the thing. And again, this is what we all talk about. You got to hold people accountable.
Right.
I've written about the police chief of Pittsburgh. Not thrilled with some of the work he's doing. Pittsburgh is one of the worst cities in the country when it comes to fines and penalties and stuff like that for police brutality. But the fact of the matter is, at least giving people the validation of letting us be in this conversation, I think that's important. That's not something I saw last week.
Hold tight 1 second. When we come back, what can the Democrats do